Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome here to New Hampshire for the Cheerwine 151 at the ButtKicker Cups, or Cup and Super Cup Series here in the ISCA Racing League. Definitely excited to be here tonight. As you can see, 151 laps going to be on the docket here for tonight's race here. Tricky track as always. New Hampshire, definitely one of those toughies. Definitely have to treat that throttle like you got an egg underneath it to make sure you don't crack it, because you will spin out on the exit of these corners. So a lot of guys like to run a little bit higher on the racetrack. Some guys have been running really low, so definitely curious to see how all this is going to work out for sure. Tire wear probably going to be a big deal. I know me and my broadcast partner, Big Al, we're talking about it a little bit before the race. This is a very, very flat track with, I do believe, hardly any banking. Speaking of Big Al, how are you doing this evening?
Hey, doing pretty good, Brian. And once again, excited to be here in Loudon, New Hampshire for what definitely should prove to be quite a spectacle, man. You know, we got almost a full field here tonight with this ISCA Thursday Super Cup, ButtKicker Cup. And I think it's going to prove to be just a little bit of a battle of wits and patience. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I think wits and patience is pretty much you're hitting the nail right on the head. Just considering how hard it is to make passes here, especially late in the run. Once the tires are worn out, running on you could definitely get some good runs on the bottom, but it's going to be very difficult to keep the momentum on the exit when that guy above you. Side by side racing here definitely slows you down quite a bit, and I think we're going to see a lot of tire wear. Curious to see how that is all going to play out, but I know we got many different competitors out here tonight going to be tackling this difficult racetrack, and definitely has a lot of short track tendencies. I would classify it as a short track. Uh, Also, it has a lot of speed too. I mean, these straightaways, these guys get up to quite a high speed. Big Al.
Yeah, and the one thing I think this track does lend itself to be more on the short track side, just because of the fact that these guys the majority of the drivers will be running that fourth gear setup here tonight. You know, even though this track just weighs in at just a little bit over a mile, it's a flat track, Brian, and it's going to be hard on tires, and it is extremely hard to pass. So I think if drivers pack their patience and they actually come with the right mindset to be in it for the long haul, I think that's where we're going to actually see those guys flourish. Now, this thing's broken up into two different stages, and the first two stages are going to be around 30 laps, and those are really going to be short runs there because this is set for 151 laps here. Stages at 30, 65, and the last one is going to be 151. 5 tire sets, including the one that's on the car. Fuel one is going to be about 66 laps, so that's going to give us our best chance to see those green flag pit stops in that long run there in that third stage, Brian. So the key is going to be if drivers can actually be available for that.
100%. Definitely going to be a long run here. That surprised that these guys don't have a longer run than that. Usually, it kind of tracks like this, you can kind of make it a lot longer of a distance. Of course, we do have a 75% fuel tank, so that's going to change it quite a bit. But looking at the ButtKicker Cup Series standings here, we got Jeffrey Souza up in the points lead with 1 win. Matt DeCiani, he's in second place with 1 win. Clayton Hoffman also has 1 win. He's in third. Carl Dodson, the first man, I do believe, without a win here, up in fourth place in the points. Danilo Coelho is in fifth place in the points. Sixth place, Josh Schaffner. Seventh place, Chris Johnson. Eighth place, Jason Baker. Ninth place, J.C. Nobrega. 10th place, Thomas O'Hara. And looking a little bit further down the standings here for this Cup Series points here, Austin Story, he's in 11th place. Mark Pageant in 12th. 13th, Joey Preby. 14th, Brian Johnson. 15th, Kenny Powell. 16th, Lucas Abreu. 17th, Wayne Grassi on the outside looking in there for the point. And of course, next up would be our Super Cup Series standings here, which actually cover the entire kind of NASCAR season. Clayton Hoffman right now finds himself at the top of the board here for this particular standings here. He has 5 wins. That's more than everybody does. Jeffrey Souza has 3 wins. He's in second place. Matt DeCiani is in third with 2 wins. Josh Schaffner with 2 wins in fourth. Mark Pageant also has 2 wins. He's in fifth. Now Kozlowski has gotten a win. He's right now sitting sixth in the points. Seventh place, Chris Johnson with a win. Jason Baker, of course, earlier we saw him get his first win just a few short weeks ago. In eighth place, Wayne Grassi, ninth place, was really dominant there at Atlanta. Unfortunately, did not find himself in victory lane. He's sitting in ninth. 10th place, Greg Wachinski. A little bit further down the running order, Kenny Powell. He's got 2 top fives. Of course, he did win on last Saturday at the Atlanta race, but has not won on Thursday, I do believe, this season quite yet. 12th place, Mark Sanchez. 13th, Paul Olson. 14th, Randy Drumhiller. 15th, Robert Pattengale. 16th, Andrew Griesbaum. And 17th, Andrew Layton on the outside looking in 17th place.
Yeah, it's going to definitely start to be, those points are going to start to be at a premium here as we get this season almost over here. At least we're pretty far into it now, not so much for the Super Cup Series, but drivers definitely going to want to be taking advantage of those stage breaks because that's the opportunity to gain those valuable points. You only get to do that at stages 1, 2, and then where you end up at the end of the race. So if you're not inside that top 10 in those first 2 stages, Brian, yeah, you don't get anything.
Yeah, that's 100% fact right there. And, I think a 30-lap run's not too bad. I don't know if that's really good enough to give you all the necessary tire data you need to, because I know some guys I was kind of talking to a little bit before the race, and they were talking about how their setups are kind of handling, the 30-plus lap run. That's when the setup really the tires start to misbehave a little bit. So I don't know if that's enough really data. These guys are going to, probably going to need a lot more. So I would not be surprised to see these guys pushing it a little extra hard just to get a little bit of more wear out of that car. But let's go ahead and take a step away and play the national anthem. We will be right back with some racing here with the Cheerwine 151.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes